Okay, so Joe Budden attends the Knicks game, and guess who's there? 50 Cent, and none other than 50 Cent, sitting right in front of him and his girlfriend. And also, who are the top four podcasters in the game? Adam22 put up a post of the Mount Rushmore podcasters, and I'm going to show you who he put in the top four. Okay, what do you think about this right after this intro? All right, so Joe Budden's. So he went to a Knicks game, and guess who was there? None other than 50 Cent himself. So this is 50 Cent right here. I'm gonna play the clip.
Mathematics, entertainment, truth, history.
Joe Budden's right there behind him with his beautiful girlfriend. 50 Cent, Fat Joe, and his daughter right there in front of him. They seem to have
50 Cent needs.
Yeah, so this is the statement that got 50 Cent and 50 Cent and Joe Budden's having a sparring of words here. So this is what Joe Budden said.
I don't care.
Wow, this is just gonna be
50 Cent needs therapy. I don't care.
Yeah, so that was it. Basically,
50 Cent needs therapy. I don't care if you agree with the rationale. And 50-50, he gonna stand in it. He gonna stand strong in it.
yeah, he
I
did.
look at it from both sides of the coin.
And if 50 feel like that, then go smoke a cigar in the cigar room. Publicly saying, damn, I want him to see my new shows. I think it's wrong.
They've had real life beef. Just feel this way, just saying 50's wrong in this instance because a lot of people love Irv.
It's not about Irv Gotti and liking Irv Gotti. If somebody says somebody that's, I think that's nasty.
There are a lot of people who base what's right and wrong based on whether we like this person or not.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't want to get flagged. Once I play a video too long, then it starts getting flagged. I always forget to talk over it. I want you guys to listen to it and hear everything, and I want to put my voice in front of it. So that conversation was right there. That was right after the untimely passing of Irv Gotti. He died of a stroke due to complications from his diabetes diagnosis, who he's been battling for years. And now following the doctor's orders, says his family, says his brother, and says other members of his friends and family members. Okay, so I'm not just guessing there. So when Irv Gotti died, 50 Cent put up a post. You saw it there in the video. It was a little insensitive, so Joe Budden's commented on it on the podcast. It's a podcast. We talk about things. We comment on things happening in the industry. And he said, hey, 50 Cent needs therapy. Now, do you feel like he needs therapy? You should write that in the comments if you feel he needs therapy. Do you feel like 50 Cent is right on how he feels, and he should feel how he feels, okay? And he did this the day of or the day after the announcement of Irv Gotti's death. So I don't know. What do you think about the timing of it? Now, for people that don't know, let me do a little. Let me go a little back and tell you guys what happened with 50 Cent and Irv Gotti. So 50 Cent, he was signed to Columbia Records, Sony Records. No, Sony then Columbia. So what happened was he was getting a deal. He was running around in Queens. Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, they're from Queens. And Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, they were already moving around, making things happen. And 50 Cent was doing the same. And rumor is there was a little beef going back and forth between camps and little slick messages and music. And it happened to coincide with a time where 50 Cent was shot multiple times and he had to go into hiding for a little while. And then when he resurrected and he came back with his music, he got a deal by none other than Eminem and Dr. Dre in the West Coast. So he had to go all the way to the West Coast to get a deal. He did try to get a deal. There's multiple interviews, multiple people saying he did try to get a deal. And after he was trying to get his deal, the deal that he got when he started to get things moving around, he was getting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. So he had to go over to the West Coast. Now, if someone shot you, not saying that this Irv Gotti or anybody had anything to do with it. They've always denied they had anything to do with the shooting of 50 Cent. He was also rumored to have been doing some illegal activities, maybe selling drugs, or he had people selling drugs at the time. But so let me go. If someone shot you and then you start getting roadblock after roadblock because of the beef you guys have, would you be able to let that go? If you get shot and then 20 years later, you guys still don't talk, you guys have multiple run-ins after this situation here, after you got the beef with Dre, 50 Cent kind of let it go. 50 Cent wasn't saying anything. He didn't want to ruffle any feathers with M. He didn't want to have any issues with Dre. So he said, I'm going to make my music. I'm going to do features. I'm going to put, get ready for my album. And then when Ja Rule mentioned, because the issue that they had was still brewing behind the scenes, there was still behind the scenes stuff happening. So when Ja Rule mentioned Eminem's daughter, that's when he basically had the green light to go crazy. And that's when he went full tilt on Ja Rule and Irv Gotti and the whole Murder Inc. camp. So, but I want to ask, after 20 years, do you feel like this is like, is it too much or should he let it go? Now, one thing to consider before you write in the comments, he got shot in the mouth. It went through his jaw. It cut his tongue, like a piece of his tongue. The way he's talking now, he didn't talk like this. He talked like this. His voice changed after being shot. I believe there was maybe shrapnel in his tongue. I'm not sure if that was just part of the movie, but he did have a hole in his cheek. You can see it in certain pictures. So if you were shot in the face and your voice is completely different, would you be able to forgive that after 20 years? And you still don't even have proof that they actually did it. The person that they believe actually committed the actual shooting, that guy has long passed. He was shot up, I believe, maybe the same year or the year after the situation happened. But the money that was put on 50's head is always rumored to have gone back to the other side. And I mean, I don't know if I could forgive that. I would never forgive that. So I don't know why. I blame these radio stations. I blame these interviewers. Why they keep bringing it up? Because 50 Cent doesn't bring it up. He gets asked. He responds because he doesn't give a damn. He responds. He's like, "Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna respond." And then they respond. So this situation with Ja Rule grieving and grieving Irv. I mean, he was asked about it by Power 105 again. And Ja Rule goes, "Hey, I was going to go nuclear on him." And then what do you think happens when 50 Cent sees that? 50 Cent goes and says, he's been trying to go nuclear for 20 years. He hasn't done nothing. And then it could spark it back up. And they know what 50 Cent is doing right now. He's cleaning up his act. I mean, he hasn't gotten into law issues since he's had a deal. He hasn't had any major, issues with the law. He owns tons of businesses now. He has a film studio that in 100,000 square feet location, owns 26 properties in that town. On top of the film studio, he owns 26 properties in that town. He's employing a lot of people, and this is the last thing that you need to be bringing up when you're interviewing Ja Rule, is bringing up 50 Cent, his mortal enemy, right after somebody's friend died. And that 50 Cent wrote something about it. That should not even be brought up. I mean, when podcasters, when bloggers, when people, me, the streamers, when we say things on YouTube, we're just saying things that is already in social media. We wouldn't have anything to talk about if it wasn't already out there. So then when I post a video up and then people get mad, I'm like, why the hell are you getting mad? I'm literally playing the clip from somebody else. Somebody else posted it, and I'm just trying to inform the people that like this genre, that like this topic, that like this. I'm informing them, hey, this is what's going on today. And then people are getting mad. Don't get mad at it. Come on, these rappers going to jail for all this crap that they're doing. They're the ones doing the interviews, giving the feds, giving the PD, giving them all the details. I mean, it's a slam dunk case when they get picked up. The only thing that slows it down is that they have money for a lawyer. Imagine an independent artist with no money saying these things, and then the cops sweep him up and grab him, and then they just play the video, and he has a horrible lawyer. 20 years. These guys, because they have good lawyers, they can delay this and fight it for a year and a half, 2 years, possibly get bail if there's no more murder in it. They'll get bail. Even when there is murder involved in the case, they get bail. They get $1 million, $2 million bail. You only have to put 10% down. Their house is worth more than that. Their jewelry is worth more than that. They get bail and they fight the case from home for a year and a half, 2 years. They can record in their home. They have a studio. They have a pool. They have a gym. You know, like, it's insane. They release this content. They release this. They do these interviews. When the feds come after, I'm not going to say who, but they're going to come after who on the West Coast who keeps blabbing his mouth saying, hey, this is why this big guy this is why Big U got scooped up, because Big U's a dummy. Yeah, he does the same thing. He tries to get other people to incriminate themselves, but he does the same thing too. He says things too. You know, there's a timeline that could be connected to all of this. And they're streaming every day. So, I don't know. All right, so that right there, that was my rant on the Joe Budden 50 Cent thing. They did hug it out. It looked like it was one of those hood hugs. So the hood hug is when guy hugs you and he holds you a little tight so he can tell you something in your ear, make sure nobody else can hear, especially with his girl next to him. Tell him, hey, better chill the hell out. Because, you know, I'll tell you this, Joe Budden's, they talk a lot of crap about Joe Budden's, but he does a great job at not commingling people's names, not bringing up people that he knows he can't bring up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows not to talk about Fifth. He knows not to talk about Jay. He knows, you know, he doesn't, the only time he brings up Jay is to bring up something positive. He doesn't bring up all the Rock Nation little scammy things with the contracts. Everybody knows Rock Nation giving people scammy contracts to producers and artists and getting a cut of everything, basically doing 360 deal. Everybody's bashing Leor Cohen for it, and Rock Nation is doing it. I mean, nobody says a thing. Nobody says a thing. Is crazy. He knows who to talk about and talk to. If you guys keep watching, you guys should support smaller channels, because they're the ones that are going to tell you the truth. If you want to hear Joe Budden talk and then he's going to sidestep and not talk about the big major artists that are coming under fire, then, you know, you just want to be in the mainstream bubble, go ahead. But when news comes up, I'm gonna put it all out there. So another story we're going to do on another post, we're going to talk about how Yo Gotti is alleged to have broken up with Angela Simmons. And I feel there's something big with that right there. That's a big, big, big situation coming up there. I feel something big is coming over there. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Nobody else is talking about it. Nobody else is talking about it. They insinuate here and there. They don't say it. They don't connect the dots. And then you know what happens? All these dots are out there. The feds already got him. You think they're not watching him? His brother was just killed. There's other deaths over there. And then I talk about it, and then people are like, oh, the vloggers, they're the ones informing the cops. You think because they saw my video, they finally figured it out? Got to get that out of, these artists got to get that out of their heads. They got to get that out of their heads. That once it's out there, and it can't be deleted. You don't own these platforms that you're putting your content on, and it cannot be deleted. They store that stuff for years. All right, so that's there. All right, let's talk about the top 4 podcasters in hip hop. So Adam22 put the Mount Rushmore picture on Instagram. I'm going to post it here. I'm going to put up on the screen. And he put up the top 4 people in podcasters. So he put himself, Joe Budden's, Academics. I'm sorry. Yes, he put Joe, Academics. Ooh, sorry about that. There we go. And Vlad, DJ Vlad. So what do you think about those top 4? Do you think that's the right list right there? Do you think the top 4? They did get a guy from the West Coast. Adam22, he put himself. Vlad, he lives on the West Coast full-time now. And then you have Academics and Joe. They're on the East Coast. There's no one from the South, no one from the Midwest, no one from anywhere else. So I don't know what's going on. I like the list. I feel like Vlad has put in his work. I mean, everyone knows who DJ Vlad is when you know about hip-hop and you know about interviews. He's the one of the pioneers with the long-form interview content and through his website. And then, you know, Adam22 with the live streaming. He has the live streaming aspect to it. Academics has the youngins, and he has he started with the Chicago War thing. And now you have Joe Budden, who has the, conversational, Joe Rogan-esque hip-hop slant to it. You know, he has that going on. So write down in the comments, who do you think? Who's in your top 4 list? Please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel, and it'll help the channel grow. And we'll keep putting out more and more content as more followers join. Thank you.